And to talk more about that, I'm joined by Professor Sushma Yadav. She is the former Vice Chancellor of the Women's University in Haryana. Professor Yadav, thank you very much for being on the show. The Prime Minister says that his government in the last 11 years that it's been in power, has shifted to the focus to women-led development. He says his government has redefined women-led development. How has this government redefined women-led development?
I think women-led government or women-led development itself is a contribution of this government. We were talking about women and development vocabulary, women's participation in development, women's role in development, how development can go to women or reach women. But the government, and especially Prime Minister Modi, has in fact redefined. He said it's not to be a development for women or development with women, but it has to be a development by women. And I think he understood the crux. I would say, since he is a worshipper of Shakti, he understood the Shakti of women. That's why Women Mission Shakti program and the safety of women, putting women at every place, whether it's the master of the house, because now the houses can be in her name and a concession is given there. PM Awas Yojana also keeps certain houses or certain slots for women. Women as women, women as mother, women as daughter, all have been at the center of the thinking of this government. It's for the first time that we had a finance minister. Finance ministry was supposed to be a very strong or a kind of a, very robust ministry where only men were there and very strong, seasoned politicians would be there, or the prime minister would keep them. But this government, for the first time, gave finance to a woman, and without fail, the budgets are coming, and the budgets are coming with lots of new schemes for women. So women-led development has been adopted not only by Prime Minister Modi during the international visits or the programs that India did at that time, but it is at the soul of his planning for Bharat, the Atmanirbhar Bharat or the Sashakt Bharat, that he looks for. So women are at the heart of it. As the lists unfolded by the report which your bureau has prepared very beautifully, they are now in NDA, they are now in forces, they are now flying the planes, they are now taking Mudra loan, and they are the entrepreneurs, there are Hunar Hearts. For the first time, the Indian government has thought about Indian women. It's not merely women, but Indian women, their lives, their needs. So as a mother, she has to be really nourished and respected. As a woman, she has to be given opportunities. As a daughter, she has to be protected, she has to be educated, she has to be empowered, and she has to be given a place. And even as a wife or home manager, I won't say housewife, but a home manager, she has to be respected because she can do lots of works while doing that work. And I'm very happy that we have resisted the pressure which comes from the World Bank and other such monetary agencies, which say that women's homework goes waste and that needs to be really counted as a part of economy. I'm sure we'll find some ways and means to do that. But putting a monetary cap or a monitoring amount for a woman's work at home, I don't think is respectable, is economically viable, or even good for the economy. Of course, we must understand what they do, we must respect what they do, and we must give a salute to every woman who manages a home. But she manages home, she manages office, she manages work, she manages children, she manages a business, she manages a field, now she manages a field as well, she manages herself, she manages all around in the house. That role of woman has been recognized by this government, and you can see the changes. I think women are really feeling empowered. I've gone to distant corners of India and I've found women working, and they really remember this kind of recognition, this kind of support which has been given by Jan Dhan Yojana, because earlier it was
Okay,
difficult for
okay,
women.
Professor Yadav, I'll stop you
Yes,
here.
yes.
Very true. I don't disagree with any bit of what you say. In fact, I agree with a lot of things that you say. You come from Haryana.
Right.
You know, women like you have headed universities. Women, as you rightly say, our women have been working in the fields. Women have been managing homes. In many areas, they're more productive than men. I can tell you, in my newsroom, my female colleagues are more productive than my tribe in the
Thank
newsroom.
you.
And they, you know, we idolize our women. They are our deities, they are our goddesses, they are our mothers, daughters. We've always respected them traditionally, culturally. But has our mindset changed? Drive 30 kilometers, 35 kilometers from Delhi into western UP, Rajasthan, your state, Haryana, 35 kilometers, 40 kilometers. Has that mindset changed in the hinterland towards how we view our women?
I think it is changing.
Okay.
You know, mindsets take the longest route in changing, you know, they don't change easily, but I think it is changing. And I wish I had that photo and it could be part of your bureau. I saw a woman very well dressed and, you know, running a bullock cart, or I think it was not even bullock, but running a cart full of her things. And I think now they say that women can do whatever. Mindset has changed because mothers are trying to push their daughters towards education. The fathers have started feeling proud of their daughters. Selfie with daughter. I can never forget what our Prime Minister Modi made popular. Now, fathers are proud of them. And let me tell you about Haryana, Rajasthan. Of course, there are hinterlands, there are villages, there are, I won't say patriarchal because that term is not very, very apt to describe our system. That came much more from the West. But there are patriarchal notions in male minds at some places. For instance, you're showing police. You know, police has women, army has women, but yet they are not given positions or postings, which are called hard postings, because they're supposed to be safe and softer. But I would say even that mindset would change if Kalpana Chawla could have gone.
No. I'll stop you here. I'll give you a personal example.
Yeah.
I used to cover defense. So
True.
once I was out on an assignment. So I'm sitting with the Jat regiment guys.
True.
So this officer says, the commanding officer tells me, I'm giving you a personal, that
Sure,
how,
sure.
you know. So he says, you know, it's all very well for women to be here, but we were sitting on a, you know, on a hard posting in Kashmir somewhere. But he says, yar, my guys they come from the hinterland of Haryana. They wouldn't take the command from a woman. Now, when you have to make them fight for life and death, they will only take a command from somebody they consider an authority. This is well after Kalpana Chawla was flying the spacecrafts that she was flying. This was well after our women wrestlers were achieving, you know, medals in the Olympics. This was well after this was at the time when Nirmala Sitharaman was the defense minister of our country.
Okay.
I said, your force is headed by a lady. He says, that's all very good. I understand that. I will take the command, but my men will take that command from there. So you know, that is really where the bottleneck is.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you which year it was, but you told me the year. That was when the defense minister was a woman. But I tell you, women, you know, human mind is very, very resilient, very, very flexible. You couldn't have imagined a defense minister as a woman maybe 10 years back or 15 years back, or 50 years, of course. But you accept it now. Finance minister, you accept. Prime minister, you already accepted. Can you forget when Prime Minister Indira Gandhi ordered our officers of army or the defense forces combinedly, did they refuse to take the orders?
No, they can take the orders from
So
the prime.
if-
No, they are not directly.
No, let me tell you,
The
sir,
men are taking the orders, are men who fight, are soldiers who fight are drawn from the hinterland. You know,
I will argue with you here.
when you tell the Jawan aage bad and there is dushman on the other side and there are bullets coming, it is not Indira Gandhi giving them the orders directly. She may be the Prime Minister of the country, or Nirmala Sitharaman may be heading the Defense Ministry, and the three chiefs may be reporting to her. But the Subedar Major has to be a man to give them the order and for them to follow the command. That is where the problem really lies. And you know, I'm just asking you, I'm all for that. I'm saying, are we as a country changing, and at what pace are we changing? Of course we are changing. Things are changing.
100%.
Yes.
No, 100% we are changing. We are changing at a very fast pace also. We are doing things and we are accepting things which wouldn't have been possible, which wouldn't have been acceptable few years back only. And let me tell you about these Jawans. I come from Haryana, and Haryana is a land of Jawans and officers. So as soon as they'll find a woman holding, forces have one mantra. Don't think after the order.
Yeah. True.
Right? So after the orders, whosoever is giving the order, at that time our Fojis, at that time our forces would not think who is a woman. I don't know how this gentleman said, but of course the gentlemen do say that, but they do become very good officers as soon as they find a capable woman leading them or heading them. You know, Saab, in police forces also, you've seen they hardly had the experience of women holding high positions. So they'll always say Janab or Sahab. You know, madam was not part of it. Like Mrs. Kabir Bedi used to say, such instances. But soon enough it has changed. Now there are so many officers, and I'm very sure if the schemes given by Prime Minister Modi and the present government or BJP continue, then we'll have women officers giving commands there also. Of course, I don't wish that situation comes. But if the situation comes, I'm sure Indian males or Indian men would accept them. I say Indian men are still much more large-hearted and liberal as far as accepting the commands or accepting them at helms of affairs is concerned. Look at America. Look at UK. They had taken years and years to accept a woman prime minister, and America has not accepted them yet. But look at India. Whenever there has been an opportunity for a woman, they have given her full support.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Full respect.
All right. Okay. So I'll take your point for that.
Sure.
Let me ask you something else. Forget about the hinterland. Let's come back to the city. Are our girls safe walking on the road in the city, in Delhi, in Kolkata? Are our girls safe walking after sunset on a road in the heart of, say, Connaught Place?
There also, I would say there is a sea change. There was one time, if there is a woman or a girl walking late night at one of those places in Connaught Place or central or heart of Delhi, she would be taken otherwise. Nobody would, take her to be normal because a normal girl doesn't walk that late. But with multinationals coming, with job avenues opening, the timings of professions changing, I'm sure, I think the mindset has also changed. You can see women there, and you can see women of all sorts on the streets. 100% safety, I don't say has come. But they are surely safer than before. They are surely more acceptable than before. They're surely more respectable than before. And I really wish that a time comes, like Bangalore used to be a very safe city. Delhi also as a capital used to be a safe city, but I think there we need much more change in mindset, much more right kind of education, much more change in culture and our way of looking at women and girls. Because at homes we have a different way, outside we have a different way. That duality needs to be changed. It will come from homes, it will come from educational institutions like ours, where the boys have to be told that there's nothing wrong if a woman walks out late. And a woman doesn't walk out late just without a reason, or she always does that with a reason. And therefore, I think The mind is changing, the mindset is changing, the environment is changing, and women's attitude also is changing. But women's attitude is changing faster than rest of the society and the men along with us. I think that
Absolutely.
has to be at a pace. That will
Absolutely.
change the environment around us, and it would be, I think, much more safer in years to come. I'm very hopeful about it.
All right.
I have seen the change. Delhi was very unsafe. Even I would feel at times when Nirbhaya happened, at times in the late nights, even I would feel a bit, uncomfortable. But it happens because Delhi is metro. There is no connectivity. I think on one hand, the law and legal institutions work faster. The police forces also work better.
True.
On the other hand, we must keep our younger generation aware, empowered,
Absolutely.
and cultured, where
All right.
they see in
True.
a woman, our
True,
culture
true,
only says
true.
that every
So
woman
it
has
boils
got
down
be
to Professor
respected.
Yadav. No.
Sure.
I 100% agree with
Sure,
what you're
sure.
saying,
Thank
and I quite buy the optimism that you put out. And the government is doing what it's doing. All these Jan Dhan yojanas, the drone didis,
Mudra Yojana.
Mudra Yojana, all that goes a long way. But it all, by the end of the day, the bottom line is we need to raise our boys right. If that changes, we raise our boys right, we move forward leaps and bounds. Professor Yadav, thank you very much for joining for this scintillating discussion. I would have loved to go forward with it, but my producer tells me I'm totally out of time. But thank you for being on the show.